Some more SoCal baseball here at Sparky Anderson Field on the campus of Cal Lutheran as the Blues get set to play against the Conejo Oaks in Game 2 of their short road trip they have down here in Southern California. Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside the broadcast booth. My name is Nate Mills, calling the balls, strikes, and much more for you all on the SLO Blues streaming network as we get you set for the Conejo Oaks versus the San Luis Obispo Blues. Well, last night the Blues fell to the Orange County Riptide in a tough 4-2 loss down at Great Park Irvine in that beautiful facility they have down there in Southern California. They fell 4-2 against the Tide, and the story of that night was the poor base running and the high strikeouts for San Luis Obispo. The team as a whole putting together 14 Ks and 2 costly base running errors, particularly happening over at third base. That could have been 2 runs for San Luis Obispo, 2 runs that would have really helped as they lost that game by 2 against Orange County. But a bright side in that game is that Logan Groff looked excellent last night. 7 innings of work, 4 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks to his 6 strikeouts. So he's been feeling himself lately in his past few starts for the Blues, and they're hoping to ride some of his momentum heading into the postseason as he will be an asset for the starting rotation, which has been shrinking ever since the start of the season. So some length in the starting pitchers as well as the bullpen for the Blues are something they're going to need going forward, and Logan Groff certainly supplied that last night for San Luis Obispo. We'll take you back over to the field to meet the starting defensive alignments for the Conejo Oaks. Behind the dish, it's Max Audet with Hellman over at first, Kang at second base, Boyd at third, Leahy at shortstop. The outfield left to right is Carrillo, Dellinger, and Danielwitz, with Rubin doing the designated hitting, and Wexler, the right-handed pitcher, on the mound for the Conejo Oaks. Luke Wexler is from Cal Lutheran, entering his senior season from Santa Barbara, California. Has a season .311 earned run average as he makes his 5th start today against San Luis Obispo. And in 17 and a third innings pitched, he has 16 strikeouts to his 6 walks and has faced 19 batters. He will face E.J. Royal to lead off this game, as the first offering is a fastball taken for strike 1. So Royal leads things off for San Luis Obispo. Then it's Gavin Constantine on deck. The highest we've seen him hit in the order is first. First time we're seeing him bat second today for the Blues, as that second offering is a breaking pitch that misses low and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Then it's Braden Jeffries. Max Lane cleans it up, doing the DHing. Jariah Lewis returns to the lineup, batting 5th. Zach Tolman playing first base, hitting 6th, with Parker Goff doing the catching, batting 7th. Gio Blanchette and Sebastian Lopez round out this lineup after a few days off, as check swinging at home is E.J. Royal dribbling it into the on-deck circle for strike 2. Lopez still on the hunt for his first season hit with the Blues. It's apparent that the entire dugout is on his side, looking to finally see some hits, finding some real estate, at least in the outfield, as that offering misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to E.J. Royal. And check that to 2-2 as Wexler comes set. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, strike 3. E.J. Royal goes down swinging on the off-speed pitch on the inside part of the plate, and that's the first out of the inning. Talked about it before, but the K numbers beginning to tally up for Ethan Royal as his exit velocity has gone up. Last night he really struggled with 2 strikeouts, one of the second, one of the 5th. Didn't collect a single hit in last night's game. He was 0 for 4, including those pair of strikeouts and a flat to center, as well as a soft pop out to the first baseman Allen. As first pitch swing is Constantine. He dribbles that down the left field line and foul. No balls and 1 strike. So more on Wexler. Last time he made an appearance was against the Santa Barbara Foresters on July 6. Came into relief with only 2 innings of work, 1 earned run, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks in his 11 batters faced. As the 0-1 comes home, it's another breaking pitch in there for strike 2. Down the heart of the plate was that soft wrinkler, as now no balls and 2 strikes to Constantine, with his silver-colored barrel choking up on it with 2 strikes. Fastball blew it right by him for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for the Oaks, and there's 2 outs here in the first, just like that. And to me, that just looked like a fastball just down the heart of the plate to Constantine. Might have had trouble seeing it or just timing it up correctly. Neither team took batting practice on the field this afternoon, which I thought was interesting. as the first pitch to Jeffries is hit off his hands out and over the dugout for Conejo for strike one. Typically we see in earlier games, especially at Sinsheimer, those 2 p.m. starts that the teams, both of them, concede batting practice, but a 4:30 p.m. start here in Conejo Oaks, as sending this one into center field is Jeffries. Going back on it is Dellinger. He camps underneath it and makes the one-handed grab for the third out of the inning. Blues go in order against Luke Wexler, the Kingsman from Cal Lutheran, playing at his home field. Scoreless, heading to the bottom half of the first. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Wexler made easy work of the SLO Blues to begin this game. 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts. E.J. Royals' strikeout trip continues. Constantine got one too, batting second today for San Luis Obispo. Then Braden Jeffries flew out to center field. So now on the mound for the Blues, it's Thomas Harper, the big, tall right-hander from Illinois State University. The rest of the defense for San Luis Obispo, Parker Goff calling the signs, throwing down the signs at behind home plate. Tollerman over at first with Jeffries and Constantine up the middle. Sebastian Lopez playing the hot corner. Outfield left to right is Gio Blanchette, E.J. Royal, and Jariah Lewis, with Max Lane doing the DHing. And Thomas Harper coming home from the windup. It's a fastball missing low. 1 ball and no strikes to Tommy Kendlinger, the center fielder, batting leadoff for Conejo and the most dangerous hitter in this lineup for the Oaks. 1-0 is a fastball that's dribbled right in front of home plate. Constantine charges it with the forehand over to first. It gets out of the way of Tollerman and kicks just to the right of the Blues dugout. Taken off towards second base is Tommy Kendlinger. Infield base hit, advanced to second on the error. There goes the no-hitter for Thomas Harper. And all of a sudden, a runner in scoring position for the Oaks. Constantine, it looked like he had trouble determining whether he wanted to go backhand or forehand fielding that ground ball. He elected to go forehand. I think that was the right move, but looks like he might have had some trouble gripping it as he threw it over to Tollerman way wide right of his glove. And so now it's Dellinger at second base as Thomas Harper gives 2 peeks. Now comes home as the first pitch fastball is popped up, and it looks like it will be out of play for strike one. A foul ball from Lucas Danielewicz, the right fielder, batting second for the Oaks. So in the lineup, it's Kendlinger, Danielewicz, then Austin Carrillo's on deck. Justin Rubin cleaning things up with Nick Leahy batting 5th, Dominic Hellman 6th, Jordan Kang batting 7th, Max Audet batting 8th, and Reeve Boyd rounds it out in the 9th spot. Medium lead for Kendlinger over at second base as there's a fastball that just misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. A pitch that looked awfully close to me off the hand of Thomas Harper, but he'll go back at it, and the 1-1 count against Danielewicz. Breaking pitch is hit in the air into center field. Royal takes a few steps to his right. Now camps underneath it, makes the grab. Tagging from second over to third is Kendlinger. Here's the throw offline. Heads up base running for the leadoff man, Tommy Kenlinger, and now a runner, the first run of the game, 90 feet away for Austin Conejo, the left fielder, and the one of two left-handed hitters in today's lineup for the Oaks. Conejo, the left fielder, with a runner in scoring position in the bottom half of the first inning. He's a two-time COVID senior from San Fernando, California, not too far from Thousand Oaks. Played first of his two college seasons right at this very field at Cal Lutheran, as the first pitch fastball to him is in there for strike one. Had a career .294 batting average with the Kingsmen. And not only did his on-base percentage lead the Eagles, it also led the conference back in 2023. 0-1. And it nicks him in the calf, and that's a hit by pitch from Thomas Harper. Runners now at the corners for the Blues. Harper just trying to get out of this jam, while Justin Rubin trying to make it hurt. And it looks like they switched around the lineup a little bit just before pregame. It's Dominic Hellman, the first baseman, who was originally supposed to bat sixth, now in place for Justin Rubin, as the runner takes off towards second base, and the throw is in time. A laser from Parker Goff behind home plate to retire Austin Carrillo on the stolen base attempt. Huge second out of the first inning. So it's Dominic Hellman in the last-minute switch for the Oaks, as the first pitch to him was strike one. Hellman on the 0-1 looks at that fastball missing outside. Good sliding stop from Parker Goff to keep it in front for ball one. So Hellman is a Mill Creek, Washington native, entering his junior season with the Oregon Ducks. The infielder played his last game on July 7th against Orange County, as he pops this one up. Playable in foul ground. Tollerman scaling the wall and fighting the sun. He extends and makes the grab. Thomas Harper gets out of the jam as he gets the pop out in foul territory, fielded by Zach Tollerman. Still scoreless heading into the second inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Second inning is brought to you by Apex Technical Sales. You can find them at glenair-apex.com. Apex Technical Sales, we're here to make you successful. A funky first inning as Tommy Kenlinger led it off with a single. He reached second base on the error, tagged up from second to third on the flyout from Danielwitz. He was eventually stranded at third base as Austin Carrillo was caught stealing. And in a last-minute lineup change, Dominic Holman now bats cleanup for the Oaks. Justin Rubin was initially there, so instead it's Dominic Hellman, batting fourth. He popped out to Zach Tollerman in foul ground to strand the runner at third base as Max Lane waves over that slider on the outer half of the zone for strike two. Still a scoreless affair here as we begin the second inning, and the cleanup man doing the DHing today from Harvard, Max Lane, steps up for the first time today. 0-2 is swung on and missed for strike three. Third strikeout of the day for the Blues. Comes on three pitches against Luke Wexler. second three-pitch strikeout of the day for Wexler as Jariah Lewis looks to flip the script here in the second inning. And the K numbers continuing to rack up for San Luis Obispo. A complete 180 from what we saw in the beginning of the season. That wasn't their approach at all. They were very patient on pitches in the zone. They developed a reputation of getting calls due to their patient takes as Lewis takes that fastball up and inside in the zone for strike one. Now they're just chasing after everything. But really today, they've been missing pitches that are in the zone. It seemed like yesterday against Orange County they were chasing pitches up at their eyes or up at their neck, as Lewis does so right there for strike two. But this afternoon, so far in this early game, they're just swinging right through pitches that are in the zone from Wexler, as Lewis is now down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes to the right-hander from Cal Lutheran, as the changeup misses low and smothered by Ade behind the dish for ball one. So Jariah had the night off last night against the OC Riptide. But on the season, he's batting a .222 average with 16 hits as he pounds this one into the ground right side. The first baseman, Hellman, charges it, flips over to first, and it is in time to retire the speedy Lewis for the second out of the inning. Soft contact from Luke Wexler, and there's 2 gone in the second inning. Zach Tollerman trying to break this thing up. 2 quick outs for Wexler as he adjusts his cap on the rubber. And tucks his platinum blonde hair behind his ears, and Tollerman takes a deep breath at home plate. Standing on deck, it's Parker Goff wearing the shin guards. Tollerman batting .349 on the season for the Blues as the curveball is tapped right back into the backstop for strike one. And see, that's what I mean about the antsiness of the Blues hitters. First pitch offering a curveball that's out in the zone. That's not what you're looking for on the first pitch. That's not what you're going to do damage on. Tollerman went after it there and tipped it right off the end of the bat straight back into the backstop. There's a fastball, but it's chopped right behind the catcher in Ade for strike two. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Tollerman. And Braden Jeffries, who flew out to center field to end the first inning, is the only batter to not see 2 strikes against Wexler, as chopping this one foul right at home plate is Tollerman. Will do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. And Wexler not known for his strikeouts, especially this summer with Conejo, as he takes a deep sigh and dangles his right arm. 16 Ks and 17 in the third innings pitch entering today's game, as the 0-2 is a changeup just missing low and inside. Nice pitch from Wexler and a better take from Tollerman for ball one. He comes set from the belt, now comes home. A wicked curveball swung on and missed for strike 3. 4 Ks for Luke Wexler as we head into the home half of the second inning scoreless. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Another easy inning for Luke Wexler as he retired the Blues in order. 6 straight outs against San Luis Obispo. He has 4 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. And now Thomas Harper looking to replicate that after getting out of the miniature jam in the first inning where Tommy Kenlinger, the leadoff man, was stranded at third base after getting the fly ball out from Daniel Witz and the caught stealing from Parker Goff, as well as the soft fly out to Zach Tollerman. Thomas Harper wants to get the offense back out there as soon as possible in what is still a scoreless ball game in the bottom half of the second. And the first offering misses low to the leadoff man, Nick Leahy. The shortstop batting 5th from UC Davis, playing in his second summer with Conejo. Here's the 1-0. Fastball up and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike to Leahy. So Nick from Newberry Park entering his senior season with the Aggies. Last time he played, it was yesterday against the Santa Barbara Foresters where he was hitless. This one's hit hard the opposite way, and it falls for a base hit. In the corner is Jariah Lewis as it kicks off the fence, and cruising into second base with a leadoff double is Nick Leahy. That's his 3rd of the season, and it gets things going in the second. Solid contact off of Thomas Harper. Zach Tollerman had no chance as it jetted towards the corner at 320 feet. Jariah Lewis had to play it on a funky hop. It was kicking around in the corner there on the chain link fence. So now another runner in scoring position for the Conejo Oaks, another leadoff base hit. So now it is Justin Rubin. And check that, it's Landon West, so some more lineup changes in this game as he looks at ball 1 downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. So originally it was going to be Dominic Hellman batting in this spot. They changed it last minute, so Justin Rubin will not be seeing any action today, originally penciled in as the designated hitter. It's Landon West, the right-hander, on the 1-0, hits it on the ground, right side. Tollerman scoops it up, trots over to first, and that's the first out of the inning. But advancing over to third base is Nick Leahy on the ground ball out from West. So now 1 out here in the bottom half of the second inning, and this is Jordan King, the second baseman batting 7th from Harvard University, a teammate of Max Lane, who is doing the DHing for the Blues this afternoon. King, a graduate from Harvard Westlake, not too far from Thousand Oaks, as the first pitch from Thomas Harper misses inside, 1 ball, no strikes. This season for Conejo, he's batting a 163 average, still trying to catch stride here with the Oaks. 7 hits in his 43 at-bats, making his 16th start for the Oaks this summer. 1-0 is a fastball. He's late on it, flares it up and out of the stadium on the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike to King. And before today's contest, King came over to the broadcast table and displayed a tray of Jamba Juice smoothies. Said, get this over to Max. So Max enjoying a strawberry banana frozen beverage before today's contest, courtesy of Jordan King. They are teammates out in Cambridge, Massachusetts, as he's now up in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. For you locals out there, Jamba Juice began in San Luis Obispo. 2-1 is hit hard into center field. E.J. Rill's not going to have a chance to get there. Landing in the right center gap and coming in to score with is Nick Leahy with no problem. Pop-up slide at second base and a double for Jordan King to put the Oaks on the board in the home half of the second. Just some loud contact off the offerings from Thomas Harper. And the second extra base hit of this inning comes off the barrel of Jordan King. And it's now 1-0 Conejo. Still just 1 out here in the inning. The ground ball out from West. As it's now Max Audet, the left-handed hitting catcher, digging in against Harper as he's first pitch swinging and missing on that fastball for strike 1. Harper gets his signs as he rests his black glove over his left pec. Now comes set at the chest. Here's the 0-1. It's hit hard over at Tollerman. He makes the snag, goes back to second for 2, and it's not in time. Thank God for the 6'4" first baseman snagging that one out of the air. Another loud barrel This time coming off the bat of Max Audet, Tollerman just has to do a miniature skip to retrieve that ball. There's now 2 gone here in the second inning. A big out for Thomas Harper after those 2 extra base hits. So now it's the 9-hole hitter in and Reeve Boyd, playing third base. And waving his bat behind his head, Thomas Harper takes a peek at second base. Now comes home, and it's a fastball that misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. Boyd is a Washington commit after spending his first season at Oregon State. He's a Seattle native, so he's returning home to Lake Union for his redshirt freshman year, as the 1-0 is in there for a strike. Nice frame from Parker Goff behind home plate. 1 ball and 1 strike to the future Husky, who committed to UW just over a week ago, and in high school was ranked the 2nd shortstop in the entire state of Washington. 1-1 is a curveball on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nice pitch from Thomas Harper, painting the black with that off speed. 2 hits in this inning for Conejo, enough to produce a run off of Nick Leahy. The double from Jordan Kang. He's still at second base as the 1-2 comes home. It's a fastball outside. They check his swing. They appeal to first, and they say he went around. First strikeout of the day for Thomas Harper as the Oaks stranded a runner at second base, but the damage has been done. They struck first on an RBI double from Jordan Kang. It's 1-0 Conejo heading into the 3rd inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Third inning is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they've designed buildings with one thing in mind: people. First offering to Parker Goff is a slider that misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. So the Conejo Oaks struck first in the home half of the second. An RBI double from Jordan Kang scored Nick Leahy to begin things in this ball game. Now the Oaks have a 1-0 lead over San Luis Obispo. They'll try to cut into it, but first they're trying to break a streak. 6 outs in a row for San Luis Obispo, as up in the count is Parker Goff, the first hitter for the Blues today to be ahead in the count against Luke Wexler, who has looked excellent against this Blues offense. Here's a fastball smoked down the left field line and out of play for Parker Goff. 2 balls and 1 strike. Goff been calling a pretty solid game early on, framing pitches well. Been one of the more consistent backstops for Dean Traynor this summer. The best offensively, production-wise, and the best defensively behind the dish, as there's a wrinkler missing inside to Goff. 3 balls and 1 strike. 4 strikeouts in the day for Luke Wexler. 6 outs in a row for Conejo, as he dangles his right arm right over his right knee and comes set below the belt. Here's the 3-1. It's a fastball that almost hits Goff, and a walk for the Blues, their first base runner of the day, as they break the 6-out streak for Luke Wexler, and the go-ahead run comes up to bat, and Giovanni Blanchette, the left fielder, batting 8th. First walk of the day for San Luis Obispo, as well as their first base runner. As Blanchette steps up, he has a .258 batting average with the Blues this summer. 8 hits in his 31 at-bats, as the first pitch to him is a fastball that misses high, 1 ball and no strikes. He's driven in 7 runs this season for San Luis Obispo, one of the team leaders in home runs with 2. 1 at Sinsheimer Stadium and 1 at the MLB Youth Academy, as the 1-0 is in there for a strike. Fastball hitting the inside corner, 1-1 to Blanchette. Making his 10th start of the season for San Luis Obispo, and he represents the go-ahead run with Parker Goff inching off the bag at first base. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball in the outside corner in there for strike 2. Blanchette down on the count, having to be tough with 2 here as he digs back into the back of the right-handed batter's box. The chalk essentially disappeared in that section. Deep sigh from Wexler as he comes home, and the slider is taken for strike 3. Clipping the inside corner, Giovanni Blanchette doesn't like it, but it's the first out of the 3rd inning. 5th strikeout of the day for Wexler, and now it's Sebastian Lopez, the 3rd baseman, batting 9th for San Luis Obispo. Lopez looking for his first hit in a Blues uniform. 10 strikeouts in his 18 at-bats, making his 6th start for San Luis Obispo after redshirting last season with the Redbirds up at Seattle University. And he's the recipient of ball 1 against Luke Wexler. Lopez getting an opportunity in this CCL matchup against the Oaks, trying to come through and move the runner over from first base as the fastball misses inside to him. Up 2-0 in the count is Sebastian Lopez. Both pitchers working quickly today, Wexler and Thomas. Hitters having to get back quickly into the box as Lopez shakes his bomb bat behind his right ear. The 2-0 comes home, and he leaves that upstairs as Goff retreats back to the bag on the snap throw from Aude. It's not in time. 3 balls and no strikes to Lopez. Sebastian has 1 walk on the season and a pitch away from number 2. Here's the 3-0. Fastball down the middle for strike 1. Still a hitter's count for Lopez as he digs back in with Boyd hugging the line over at third base. Outfield at regular depth as the 3-1 is sent straight back and out of the stadium. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Lopez. Right fielder Danielwitz playing pretty close to the right field line, making that right center gap pretty big. Carrillo shaded slightly towards the left field line as well. As Goff thought about taking off towards second base, he tried to get the pitcher to jump. He did, and he gets picked off for the 2nd out of the inning. He got caught inching towards second, trying to get in the head of Wexler. But the pickoff move is the 2nd out of the 3rd inning. So now 2 gone, as someone has just been ejected from the Blues dugout. Not sure who it was, as Dean Traynor now heads out to talk to the umpire who just did the ejecting. Now he's having a conversation with his arms folded in front of his chest. Still unsure who it was that said something, but the home plate umpire is standing up the first base line, trying to maybe get involved with the conversation as Lopez talks with the catcher all day. The conversation for Dean Traynor continues as Goff puts on his shin guards. Don't think it was him. He doesn't seem like the type of guy to say something to the umpire. He was the man to get picked off over at first base, but he continues to put on the shin guards as Dean Traynor talks to his players in the dugout. Doesn't seem to be singling out anyone. Trying to figure out who it was. No one has left the dugout yet. Goff continues to put on the gear and drink some water. So far a mystery toss for the Blues as the home plate umpire is talking to the first base coach for the Blues. Potentially could be Logan Groff as he's packing up his bags. The starter from last night for San Luis Obispo wearing no jersey today, and I think it was Groff as he's now applying his backpack. So the home plate umpire scribes in his little notebook that Groff is done. Some high five from the players as he and his red Oakley shades head out of the dugout early on in this game. And a nice little breather here for Sebastian Lopez in a quick working at bat. He's awaiting the payoff pitch from Luke Wexler with now 2 gone in the 3rd inning. Blues trailing by 1 as Wexler comes set, a deeper side than usual, and the payoff pitch is dribbled down the third base line and foul. We'll do it again at 3 balls and no strikes. E.J. Royal awaits on deck. He's the leadoff man who struck out swinging to begin this ball game. Wind blowing in from left center field. 3-2 comes home. It's a fastball hit sharply over the reach of Leahy, and there's the first base hit of Sebastian Lopez's summer. Smoked off the barrel, and it comes with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Lopez finally breaks things up here in the 3rd, and he does so with a loud crack of the bat over the reach of the shortstop from UC Davis. Nice break for Sebastian Lopez. Couldn't happen to a better guy out there as he inches off the bag with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. So now it's the leadoff man, E.J. Royal, with a runner on first base. And Royal swings and misses at that slider low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. And that's just not a swing we're used to seeing from Royal. Definitely a lot more discipline than that. He knows that as well, based on the huge sample size we've seen from him this summer as he makes his 25th start, and Lopez dives back towards the bag on a throw that almost goes into the Blues dugout. Still no balls and 1 strike. Lopez got back safely. So the 25th start for Royal this afternoon. He has 38 hits on the year and 101 at-bats as he waves at another slider that was never a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to Royal, the Utah Tech Trailblazer. Medium lead for Lopez over at first base as the Blues trail by 1. And Royal on the 0-2 swings and misses at the 3rd straight slider. A drop 3rd strike. The throw to first is in time for the 3rd out of the inning. 3 pitches to retire E.J. Royal on strikes. They were all off speed. Sebastian Lopez gets his first hit of the summer, but the Blues still trail by 1, heading into the bottom half of the 3rd inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Rather eventful top half of the 3rd inning for San Luis Obispo. So Logan Groff got ejected as Parker Goff, no relation, was picked off over at first base. He led off the inning with a walk, the first base runner for the Blues this afternoon. And after he was picked off over at first, the starter from yesterday had a few choice of words to the field umpire as taking strike 1 for Conejo is the leadoff man Tommy Kendlinger. So Groff was ejected. It took him a while to get out of the dugout, and it was right in the middle of Sebastian Lopez's at-bat, where he was in a 3-2 count, moving quickly on him. The pitcher leading the dance there, it was Max Wexler, but then he eventually came through with the first base hit of the summer for him. It was a hard line drive single into left field as that ball gets out of the way of Parker Goff. And now up in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike is the leadoff man Kendlinger. So then after that, E.J. Royal struck out swinging on 3 straight sliders. He's been having difficulties picking up that off-speed pitch today, as that's what got him out in the first inning, strikeout swinging, as the fastball misses inside to the leadoff man for ball 3. So now we're in the home half of the third, and it's Tommy Kendlinger who led off with a single back in the first, reached second on an error, and then tagged up to the third base on a fly ball from Lucas Danielewicz, and he walks here for the leadoff base runner. 3 straight leadoff runners for the Conejo Oaks, and now it's Lucas Danielewicz, who flew out to center field last time he was up. So Kendlinger reaches base safely for the second time today. The team leader in stolen bases and total bags now at first. He's got 9 stolen bases on the season. Picked back to first, and Tallman does a nice job scooping it as it missed in front of first base by about 5 feet. So now it's Danielewicz. He's a Kingsman from Cal Lutheran playing at his home field. His 3rd college of his career, the redshirt COVID senior, as this one's lifted deep into center field. Royal on the warning track makes the grab flat-footed in front of the 400 sign out in center, and that's the first out of the inning. Second time that Danielewicz has flown out to center, and there's 1 gone here in the third. So Austin Carrillo steps up now. He was hit by pitch, the left-hander batting third back in the first inning. He was caught stealing from Parker Goff, who had an absolute laser of a throw down to second base. Wasn't even close to retire Carrillo for the second out of the first inning, as the first pitch is a fastball that misses low to him. 1 ball, no strikes. Carrillo, the left fielder, one of the 2 left-handed hitters in today's lineup, entering the transfer portal as a 2-time COVID senior. Used to play for the Kingsmen at Cal Lutheran. Played at Biola last season as the hit and run is fouled right back into Parker Goff. Taken off towards second base was Tommy Kendlinger. He'll have to retreat back to first, and will do it again on the 1-1 count against Carrillo. Entering this game with a .333 batting average, 18 hits in his 54 at-bats. This is his 21st game of the season. Conejo, this is their 23rd game of the season, so he only has sat 2 of the Oaks contest as he chokes up on the bat on the 1-1 count. The lefty serves it into shallow left field, and it drops for a base hit. Kendlinger was thinking about third, but he throws on the brakes at second base. A 1-out knock for Austin Carrillo. The left-hander going the opposite way with some loud contact in front of Giovanni Blanchette. Nothing he could do there. And the baton keeps moving for Conejo as they're up by 1. Some more cushion out on the base paths for Dominic Hellman, the DH from Oregon, who popped out to Zach Tollerman in the first inning. Harper comes set. His bare hand connects with the baseball in his glove. It's a double steal. They'll go towards second base. The throw almost gets into the outfield, but not before the leaping stop from Jeffries. Now 2 runners in scoring position for the Oaks. Double steal was executed perfectly. A great jump from Kendlinger over to the bag at third. Parker Goff didn't even have to think about it. He was going to swipe that bag regardless. He tried to go for Carrillo, but not in time. So now it's Hellman on the 0-1 that's sent softly right back in the netting behind home plate. No balls and 2 strikes to the Oregon Duck doing the designated hitting today. Two runners in scoring position after the double steal for Conejo in an 0-2 count as Goff sets up outside. Here's the fastball, just missing the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hellman entering today's game, a .176 batting average, slumping this season for the Oaks, but looking to resort back to how he was hitting at Oregon with his .271 average and 59 at-bats. 1-2 is spoiled up and out of play down the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So he just finished his second year as a Duck after suffering a season-ending injury his true freshman season. He only played in 13 games, but had a nice bounce-back year, a .271 average, and with a .508 slugging. As the 1-2 misses outside, he got the trigger to go after that pitch away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That slugging fueled by his 4 home runs and 2 doubles in his 16 hits. Trying to resort back to those ways here at Conejo as he hits this through the 5-5 hole, a base hit. Coming in to score is the leadoff man, Kenlinger, and throwing the brakes at third base is Carrillo. It's now 2-0 Conejo Oaks. Timely hitting for Conejo, and it comes through again here in the 3rd inning. The Oaks have had a base hit in every inning so far in this game. Back-to-back knocks brings in the 2nd run of the ball game. And now it's Nick Leahy who doubled to begin the 2nd inning. Launched down the right field line, clanking around the 320 sign in the corner. Still just 1 out here with runners at 1st and 3rd for the Oaks. As Leahy digs in, 1 of 1 on the day. It's a fastball that misses low and outside. Goff has to get out of his squat for that one. 1 ball, no strikes. So an RBI single for Dominic Hellman. And Tommy Kenlinger came around to score as a right-hander gets loose in the Oaks bullpen. 1-0 is skied up and out of play down the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike against Thomas Harper. Trying to get out of the jam here with runners at 3rd and 1st for the Oaks. Conejo leads 2-0 over San Luis Obispo. Trying to even up this road trip here at Sparky Anderson Field. 1-1 misses outside. It was a slider smothered by Goff, who kept it in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Or 2 balls and 1 strike, excuse me. Leahy, a seasoned veteran from UC Davis, entering this game with his .270 average. He was 0 for 3 last game against the Foresters yesterday. Scored 2 runs on a hit by pitch and a walk. And he fouls this one softly straight back into the netting. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Leahy. Played for Conejo last summer. He played in 21 games and 11 hits and 58 at-bats, a 190 batting average. He recovered well with the Aggies last season, batting .277, starting in nearly every single game for Davis. 2-2. It's an off-speed, missing low and outside. Fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Middle infield pinching up the middle at 2nd base. Playing deep as well. Double play depth with a runner at 1st. Not a guy with high speed as well, and Dominic Hellman. He takes off towards 2nd. This one's hit on the ground. Off the glove of Harper. Jeffries gobbles it up and throws it over to 1st in time for the 2nd out, but a run comes in to score in Austin Carrillo. An RBI ground out for Nick Leahy as Dominic Hellman advances into 2nd base. 2 gone, and what is now a 3-0 ball game. Conejo leads San Luis Obispo, and now Landon West, who is a last-minute lineup addition, stepping up to the plate as the 6th batter. The catcher playing 1st base today for the Oaks. As he awaits the first offering from Harper, here it comes. It's a curveball just missing outside. 1 ball, no strikes. So Landon West making the trip all the way out from Katy, Texas, where he grew up, and he's entering his sophomore season playing for the Rice Owls. Here's the 1-0 to him, and it's a fastball clanking off the glove of Parker Goff. It gets away, and advancing another 90 feet is Dominic Hellman. Free 90 feet for Conejo, and now it's up to Landon West to cash it in for the 4th run of this game. Still looking for his first collegiate base hit, as his first season with the Owls, he was 0 for 9 in 6 starts. There's a fastball, just missing up and away, 3 balls and no strikes. He has at least a hit this summer, 12 for his 59 at-bats, making his 18th start for the Oaks with his .203 average before first pitch at 4:30 today. As Harper misses outside on the fastball again, 4 straight balls to Landon West, and the 2nd walk of this inning. So now it's runners at the corners for Jordan Kang, who doubled in the first run of this ball game in the 2nd inning. Two gone for the smoothie deliverer from Harvard University. Returning to the lineup as the walk-up music is playing too long. The beat's too funky, man. Last time he played was 3 days ago against the OC Riptide, where he went 1 for 3. An RBI single with 2 walks, a strikeout, and 2 stolen bags. And there's some hard contact right back up the middle. And coming in to score with ease is Dominic Hellman from third. An RBI single from Jordan Kang, his second hit and run batted in of the day. 4-0 Conejo, and the party continues for the Oaks as Max Audet steps up to the plate. Audet, the left-handed hitting catcher, lined out to Zach Tollerman back in the second inning. A laser, but the 6'4" first baseman was able to snatch it right out of the air for the second out of the inning, as Audet is the recipient of strike one here in a rally for Conejo in the third inning. Runners on first and second for Audet, who rests his black bomb bat on his left shoulder. He lifts it up on the 0-1 and waves over that off-speed pitch underneath his barrel. No balls and 2 strikes. Audet, a Johnny from St. John's, after a nice season at LA Valley College his freshman year, a one-and-done JUCO guy. He was All-Western State Conference honorable mention. Now in New York playing some Division I baseball, as there's a fastball just missing low in the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's had his fair share of struggles, not only this summer, but in his first spring with the Johnnies. A 175 average and 40 at-bats. And this summer for the Oaks, a sub-100 average. He was 0 for 1 with a strikeout against the Foresters 3 days ago. As that off-speed misses downstairs, Goff keeps it in front. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuces Wild to the left-handed hitting catcher, looking to catch fire here with 2 runners on and a 4-0 lead for his Oaks. Eddie Tierney gets loose in the Blues bullpen as Harper double takes at second base, now kicks and fires on the 2-2, and he chases at the fastball upstairs for strike 3. The Oaks, with 3 runs in the third inning, strand 2 runners on, 3 hits, and no errors. It's now 4-0 Conejo as we head into the 4th inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Fourth inning is brought to you by Richardson. They're the official hat of the CCL, and all of their products are gluten-free. Richardson, quality with every stitch. Blow-up inning for the Conejo Oaks. 3 runs in the third inning off the bats of Jordan Kang, who's seeing the ball awfully well today, and Dominic Hellman. A couple of RBIs out of them and an RBI ground out from Nick Leahy. So 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base for the Oaks as Eddie Tierney now warms up, and you can't help but think that he will be coming in to replace Thomas Harper soon, as the leadoff man for San Luis Obispo is Gavin Constantine in the top half of the 4th inning, and he's down no balls and 2 strikes against Luke Wexler, who's been pitching excellent today. Fouls this one straight back into the netting behind home plate. We'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. Constantine has already struck out swinging today back in the first. One of the 2 victims in that inning. 6 strikeouts for Wexler today as that fastball misses high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I've talked about before, Wexler not a guy known for his strikeouts. I mean, this summer entering today's game, he had 17 in the 3rd innings pitch with just 16 strikeouts, which is good, but not quite the ratio we're seeing here as Constantine swings and misses at that slider that was never a strike at any point. I think San Luis Obispo is having some trouble picking up that slider. That appears to be the pitch that everyone is swinging at. Whether it's in the zone and it's nasty and it breaks out, because the slider is good. You got to tip your cap to that. But sometimes at no point is it destined for the strike zone, and the hitters are still going after it. And some surprising people as well, as Jeffries pops this one up into shallow left field. Charging it is Carrillo. He calls everyone off and makes the grab on the move. Second quick out here in the 4th inning. 2 gone here. And what I was trying to mention there is that guys like E.J. Royal and Braden Jeffries having trouble picking it up. 2 pieces of soft contact for Jeffries this game, and 2 strikeouts swinging from Royal. In his second at-bat, it was on 3 pitches. So the Blues really trying to get to work here as they're getting shut out right now against Wexler, who delivers an off-speed, plopping in the zone for strike 1 to Max Lane. He struck out his zone back in the 2nd inning to lead things off. Another slider that misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Max Lane. His teammate at Harvard is having a pretty nice day at the plate in Jordan Kang. A double and a single for 2 runs batted in of the 4. This one's hit hard on the ground, left side. Gobbling up is Leahy. He shuffles to first and throws it in time to retire the speedster from Harvard. Quick 4th inning for the Blues as we'll head to the home half of it. 4-0 Conejo. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Another quick half inning for San Luis Obispo. 3 up, 3 down for Luke Wexler, who has looked fantastic today. The Oaks do have a right-hander going in their bullpen right now. It's Nate Hernandez, the uncommitted rising junior from Oxnard, California, as Thomas Harper stands up there from the windup in the first offering, misses low and skips away from the glove for Parker Goff for ball 1. So leading off this inning, it's Reeve Boyd, and on deck it's Tommy Kenlinger and Lucas Danielwitz up in the hole after that. Here's the 0-1 to the 9-hole hitter in Boyd with a 4-0 lead, and that one's yanked outside. It was a fastball. Good stop on the backhand from Parker Goff. 2 balls and no strikes. Boyd is one of the 2 strikeout victims from Thomas Harper this afternoon. He struck out to end the 2nd inning. Here's the 1-1, and there's a fastball hitting the outer black. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tierney still gets loose in the bullpen. Owen Estabrook warming him up as Max Lober supervises them. 2-1 comes home. It's hit right back to Harper, and the backhand from Jeffries is wide right to Zach Tollerman, who has to get off the bag to retrieve it. Infield base hit for Reeve Boyd, the 3rd baseman batting 9th. another leadoff base runner for Conejo. They've had one in every inning so far, and 2 of the 3 times that leadoff runner has come around to score. So Reeve reaches first on the leadoff infield single. It was a tough play for Jeffries. For a second there, I thought it was going to be enough to nestle into shallow center field, but from the rangy second baseman, he kept it in play, but keep him over at first base. And it's a pretty decent lead for Boyd. And there's a foul ball from Tommy Kendlinger as it's sent over the bullpen down the right field line for strike 1. Kendlinger is 1 of 1 on the day, a single in the first, stranded at third base, but then he led off the third with a walk and came around to score from the Dominic Holman RBI single. Here's the 0-1. It's fouled straight back into the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes to the center fielder, leading the team in nearly every statistical category. Had some fun at Allen Hancock these past 2 seasons, just south of San Luis Obispo, matter of fact, just a short 30-minute drive. And a career .293 batting average, a .414 slugging. Earned him a spot with Biola as that one's pounded in the ground left side. Big hop for Lopez as he takes a few shuffles to first. Soft throw to Tallman is in time for the first out of the inning. But advancing to second base is the runner Reeve Boyd on that ground out to Sebastian Lopez. So Kendlinger doesn't reach base for the first time today as Boyd is now in scoring position. The Oaks have had a runner in scoring position every inning today. So now it's Lucas Danielwitz. He's 0 for 2 on the day. 2 flyouts to E.J. Royal in deep center field as he squats in the right-handed batter's box. The first offering is a fastball that just misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Danielwitz, a Division I bounce back from Southern Illinois University. Played in the COVID season with the Salukis as that fastball just misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Just played in 10 games before the pandemic hit. Had a .250 batting average before going to Mesa Community College out in Arizona. The Midwesterner from Riverwoods making the trip out to the Southwest. Played 2 years with the Firebirds and has earned himself a spot with the Kingsmen at Cal Lutheran where he spends his summer as this one's hit to the shortstop Constantine. He hits it off his chest and the throw to first is in time. Nice play from Gavin Constantine to stay with that ground ball. He bobbled it around a bit. It was a difficult in-between hop over at shortstop. He was pinching up the middle, but he kept his cool and made the throw over to first to retire Danielwitz for the second out of the inning. 2 gone and a runner at second base in Reeve Boyd. And now it's the 3-hole hitter Austin Carrillo playing left field today for Conejo and came around to score 1 of the 3 runs in the 3rd inning after he singled in his at-bat and stole a bag. He swings and misses at the first offering from Harper. It was a fastball for strike 1. Carrillo with the most college baseball experience you could possibly have. A double COVID senior entering the transfer portal, playing his grad year, looking for a new place to call home as that offering misses low and inside, almost hits the shoelaces of Carrillo for ball 1. Had some fun in his time at Biola, led the team in nearly every category and led the conference with his on-base percentage. As the 1-1 is spoiled down the left field line into the bullpen. Almost takes the head off the bullpen catcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He was all SCIAC in 2021 when he played with the Kingsmen. That's the conference that Cal Lutheran plays in. Before that, his season was canceled. Here's the 1-2. And that one's spoiled right back into the backstop. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 gone here with a runner at second base. Back-to-back groundouts from Thomas Harper as it's now the 3-hole hitter Austin Carrillo, the long-tenured collegiate baseball player and former Kingsman from Cal Lutheran. Here's the 1-2 from Harper as he rocks, as he comes set. This one's dribbled on the ground right side. Jeffries ranges to his left, scoops it up, hesitates, and finally gets it over to first for the 3rd out of the inning. A runner stranded off 1 hit, no errors, and no runs for the Oaks. We'll head into the 5th inning. 4-0 Conejo. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Fifth inning is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they've designed buildings with one thing in mind: people. Would you believe it? It's a new pitcher for the Conejo Oaks after Luke Wexler just mowed down this Blues offense. Nate Hernandez comes into this game, a right-hander wearing number 30 for Conejo, and a sigh of relief for San Luis Obispo as Wexler went 4 innings, allowed just 1 hit from the guy who hadn't had a hit all season, ironically enough. He just allowed 1 walk and 7 strikeouts to the Blues hitters. It was that slider that was getting him to chase out of the zone, and we'll see what the Blues can do here against Hernandez with the hesitation and a wicked curveball plopping into the zone and over the barrel of Jariah Lewis for strike 1. So for San Luis Obispo, it's Jariah Lewis, Zach Tollerman on deck, and then Parker Goff in the hole for the Blues. Another hezzy on the 0-1, and this one's check swung and over the glove of Boyd, who dove for it at third base. Second knock of the day for the Blues, and it comes in an unconventional way. Jariah Lewis with a half swing, just leaking the ball over the diving Boyd at third. Blues will take it anyway, anyhow. A leadoff base runner and a guy with some serious wheels over at first for Zach Tollerman, who's 0 for 1 of the day. He struck out swinging to end the second inning. Hernandez takes his time coming set. Now slide steps home. Tried to backpick Lewis over at first, but he gets back there standing. No balls and 1 strike to Tollerman. Tierney still getting loose in the Blues bullpen as Tollerman fills out the entirety of the right-handed batter's box with his wide stance, bending at the knees. He awaits the 0-1 offering. 2 nods from Hernandez, and this one's driven in the left field, hard off the bat of Tollerman, but too hard as Carrillo can get there, taking a few steps to his left for the first out of the inning. Loud out for ZT. He can write that down in his journal as a quality at bat at least. And there's 1 gone for Parker Goff. Goff, the catcher, walked in the 3rd inning, the only walk of the day for San Luis Obispo, and was picked off over at first base. Having himself an afternoon throwing down the signs behind home plate, blocking everything in front. His gray away jersey covered in dirt as aggressively pointing his thumb back to first was odd day. Hernandez did so, but Lewis got back there in time. Blues wearing the away grays with the navy blue shoulders with the gold trim at the very end of the sleeve and the SLO on the left pec. This one's sky deep into center field. Moving to his left is Kenlinger. He calls off his right fielder Danielwitz and puts it away for the second out of the inning. So the Blues starting to get some more loud contact against Hernandez, but it's 2 outs here in the 5th inning. The irony, as Jariah Lewis hit a ball 40 miles an hour in the infield, and that's the only base hit of this inning after Tollerman and Goff both crushed their balls respectively in the outfield. So it's 2 gone for Gio Blanchette. He's hit the ball hard a few times this summer. 2 home runs for the Fresno City College outfielder, as the first pitch to him is a fastball that misses up and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Blanchette entering this game with his .258 batting average, his 2 home runs, 8 hits, 40 at-bats. Picked to first, and Lewis is back there in time, reaching with his royal blue oven mitt and his right thumb exposed. Lewis just hit the 2nd base hit of the day for the Blues earlier in this inning on that check swing over the glove of Boyd at third. Here's the 1-0, and Blanchette pops this one up and out of play over the Blues dugout, out of the stadium. 1 ball and 1 strike to Blanchette. He adjusts his pearly white batting gloves before stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Third base coach Rene Regalado gives signs to Jariah Lewis, who has a average-sized lead over at first base. Nate Hernandez working a lot slower than Luke Wexler, who started this game, as he nods a few times, now comes home on the 1-1, and it misses high to Blanchette, 2 balls and 1 strike. The pace of this ball game has come to a screeching halt at the workflow that Nate Hernandez has, and the blow-up inning from the third for Conejo. That's where we're seeing that 4-0 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 is hit hard through the 5-5 hole and a base hit. Nice contact from Gio Blanchette with 2 outs, and Jariah Lewis moves up another station to keep things moving in the 5th. Blanchette now 1 of 2 on the day. He wins the battle against Hernandez, and now it's up to Sebastian Lopez to string together another knock and perhaps bring in the first run of the ball game for San Luis Obispo. Lopez collected his first hit of the summer back in the 3rd inning. He roped the single over the reach of Leahy at shortstop. On deck, it's E.J. Royal, the leadoff man, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch is a fastball that misses high to Lopez. 1 ball and no strikes. At first, it's Gio Blanchette. At second base, it's Jariah Lewis. E.J. Royal, the man on deck, represents the tying run as that curveball misses inside to Sebastian. 2 balls and no strikes. Looping in there at 68 miles per hour, almost hitting the back hip of Lopez. Carrillo playing the line out in left field. Big gap out in left center as Kemlinger plays straight up. 2-0 comes home and misses way upstairs. 3 balls and no strikes to Sebastian Lopez. Just like his other at-bat, 3 straight balls from the right-handed pitcher. This time it's Nate Hernandez. Wind blowing in aggressively from left center field. All the righties seem to be pulling it that way with some high exit velocity though. 3-0. Fastball that misses way upstairs, and there's a 4-pitch walk to Lopez. He reaches base safely for the 2nd time this afternoon, and now it's E.J. Royal with the bases loaded. Royal 0 for 2 with his 2 strikeouts. Trying to figure it out, having some difficulty seeing the slider from Luke Wexler today, and we'll see how he'll fare against the new pitcher in Nate Hernandez. As I said, Royal represents the go-ahead run for San Luis Obispo, and he's never had more than 2 strikeouts in one game. He just wants to put the ball in play here and find a hole. Everyone playing straight up all around the diamond as Hernandez comes home, and there's a looping curveball at 72 miles an hour, nudging the outer half of the zone for strike 1. Gavin Constantine awaits on deck. He is also 0 for 2 with a pair of Ks. Another pitcher getting loose in the Conejo bullpen as E.J. Royal awaits the 0-1 offering, waving his hands in front of his left armpit. Here it comes. It's sent the other way on the ground. The second baseman Kang's got it. He flips over to second to force out Lopez, and the side is retired. The Blues do get 2 hits on no errors and 3 left on base. No runs to show for it, though, as they're still getting shut out by the Oaks heading to the bottom half of the 5th. Halfway through this game on the SLO Blue Streaming Network, my name is Nate Mills. just over halfway through at Sparky Anderson Field. The Oaks still have the lead over San Luis Obispo, who is getting shut out 4-0 in favor of Conejo. Dominic Hellman, Nick Leahy, and Landon West due up to face the new pitcher, Eddie Tierney, who replaces Thomas Harper. His day is done after 4 innings of work, allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. As the first pitch from Tierney is an off-speed that misses inside, 1 ball and no strikes. From the right-hander from the University of Nevada at Reno. As he comes through from the windup, here's the 1-0. The side armor misses low. 2 balls and no strikes to Dominic Hellman. Hellman is the DH from Oregon, and he's 1 for 3 this afternoon, an RBI single in the third, and he popped out to Zach Tallman in the first. Sidearm fastball missing outside. 3 straight balls to Hellman to lead off the 5th inning. Deep sigh from Tierney as he quickly works from the windup. And it's a fastball down the middle at 85 miles per hour, taken for strike 1. Eddie nods, now breathes and comes home. It's a fastball. He gets the check swing from Hellman, but he didn't go around. A 5-pitch walk to the Oregon Duck, and they keep the streak alive with another leadoff base runner here in the 5th. So first batter that Eddie Tierney sees coming out of the bullpen is a walk to Dominic Hellman. It's now Nick Leahy, who's 1 of 2 on the day. An RBI ground out back in the 3rd inning and a double to lead off the 2nd. He came around to score off the swing from Jordan Kang for the first run of this game. First pitch to him is a strike taken at 85 miles per hour from Tierney. So Eddie enters this game in his 7th appearance for San Luis Obispo. He's pitched in 21 1/3 innings. As there's another fastball. Hitting the low and outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. He's allowed 18 hits in his 21 1/3 innings pitched. 13 runs, 9 of them earned, 14 strikeouts to his 10 walks. 0-2, it's a fastball just missing on the outside corner. Good attempt from Parker Goff to try to frame that one into the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nick Leahy, the shortstop batting 5th for Conejo. From the stretch, here's the 1-2. Missing low on that fastball again. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Leahy. And that's what we've seen from Eddie Tierney all season. Been a bit streaky with how he pitches. He's got that sidewinder action and a ton of arm side run with the right-hander coming in on right-handed hitters. As you saw it right there, chasing at the fastball up at his eyes is Nick Leahy for strike 3. First out of the inning, it was a fastball up at his head, and it started in the middle of the plate, and it just sailed right into the right-handed hitter's hands for the first out of the inning. And that's where we see the effectiveness from Eddie Tierney. The flip side of that coin is the hit by pitch. Tierney oftentimes has a pitch get away from him even after he's working so well because it moves so much. That's the name of the game for him, is just trying to locate his fastball that moves so much. It's not going to come in there with a ton of velocity. As taken strike 1 is Landon West. He's 0 for 1 on the day. But he'll get you on the movement, and honestly, that is most of the time more effective than the velocity, especially at the collegiate level, as that one's dribbled in front of the on-deck circle for Conejo. No balls and 2 strikes to West. Unassisted put out from Zach Tallman in the 2nd inning off the bat of Landon West, and then a walk in the 3rd where he was stranded in scoring position. Short lead for Hellman over at first, as swing and missing at strike 3 is West. Back-to-back Ks for Eddie Tierney, and there's 2 gone here in the 5th inning. Now the Oaks appear to be having some troubles picking up that fastball coming from the 3/4 slot of Tierney, as Jordan Kang looks to flip that around, as he's having a pretty nice day at the plate today. 2 hits, 2 runs batted in, 1 double and 1 single, as the first offering to him is a fastball that misses low. 1 ball and no strikes. Kang, the infielder from Porter Ranch, California, entering his junior season with the Crimson at Harvard, as the 1-0 is chopped into the on-deck circle for Conejo. 1 ball and 1 strike. Some pretty solid years at Harvard, including one where he batted .239 last year in 24 starts. Slowly starting to be introduced as an everyday infielder for the Crimson. Starting in 24 games, started 5 his freshman season. As he waves at that off-speed from Tierney, he smiles as he catches that one back on the rubber. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 from Eddie as he comes home from the stretch. Chasing at that fastball upstairs and fouling it straight back into the net is Kang. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Middle infield pinches at second base as Max Audet calls out his dugout for not retrieving that foul ball. Tell him, Max. Runner on first, 2 outs, 1-2 counts. This one sent into shallow center. Royals sprinting in on it, and it drops right in front of him. That's the 3rd hit of the day for Jordan Kang, and it comes with 2 outs and 2 strikes against Eddie Tierney. Kang is seeing the ball awfully well today. So now runners on first and second with 2 gone, and Max Audet digging in for the 3rd time. And Kang had been struggling all summer heading to this game, a 163 batting average, had 7 hits in his 43 at-bats. Audet, the left-handed hitting catcher, is 0 for 2 on the day. A line out to Zach Tollerman at first and a strikeout swinging to end the rally in the 3rd inning. 5th inning in a row with runners in scoring position for Conejo. There's been 2 times where they haven't been cashed in. Audet doesn't want to be one of those times, as Tierney misses low and inside over the shoelaces of Audet. 1 ball, no strikes. Been struggling this summer, Max has, as well as his first season with the Johnnies at St. John's out in New York. The rising junior from Woodland Hills dribbles this one in front of home plate, rolling down the first base line. Tierney picks it up in fair territory. No one's at home. Goff recognizes that as Hellman holds up at 3rd base. Infield base hit for Max Audet. A dribbler down the first base line fills up the bases for the Oaks. Back-to-back hits for Conejo, and now it's the 9-hole hitter, Reeve Boyd. He's 1 of 2 on the day, a single in the 4th, and a strikeout swinging to end the 2nd inning. So sandwiched between base runners allowed from Tierney, the 2 singles, and the walk are 2 strikeouts, where he just toyed around with the 5- and 6-hole hitters. With the slider, with the changeup, with the 2-seam fastball, as he misses to Reeve Boyd for ball 1 here. Second offering, misses outside again. 2 balls and no strikes to the 3rd baseman batting 9th. Boyd does not have a collegiate at bat yet officially. Was at the campus of Oregon State this past year, now going to Seattle to play for the Huskies, as there's 3 straight balls from Eddie Tierney. Batting just south of 300 this summer for Conejo. 10 hits in his 34 at-bats. He's making his 11th start today for the Oaks. The redshirt freshman on the 3-0. Takes the fastball that misses outside, and Eddie Tierney just walked in the 5th run of the day for the Oaks. 5-0 Conejo, as Reeve Boyd didn't see a single strike from Tierney. Second walk of Tierney's outing, and the first run given up for Eddie as Jack Sand sits in the Blues bullpen. First pitch to the leadoff man, and Tommy Kendlinger is taken for a strike. So it's now a 5-0 game as Kendlinger, who is 1 of 2 on the day, steps up. He got an at-bat last inning in the 4th where he grounded to Sebastian Lopez at 3rd base. 1-1 count to Kendlinger. Singled in the 1st, came around to score in the 3rd, a leadoff walk for him there. Now stands in with the bases loaded. The RBI leader for the Oaks. 1-1, it's a fastball that just misses inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. 15 runs batted in 63 at-bats heading into today's game off 25 hits. He collected 2 more RBIs yesterday against the Santa Barbara Foresters in their loss. Here's the 2-1. Here's a fastball in there for strike 2. Nice placement from Eddie Tierney on that cutter. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tommy Kemlinger. The reigning Western State Conference All-Conference second team committed to Biola. Off-speed pitch missing outside, fills it up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Also a recipient of the Western State Conference Gold Glove Award winner this past season, just like E.J. Royal 2 years ago. Payoff pitch, runners go, and it's hit off the hands of Kemlinger into the Blues dugout. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Grimacing after that swing is the future Eagle at Biola. Runners at their stations, but they'll be taking off once again on the pitch from Tierney. Full count with 2 outs. Here it comes. Swings and grounds it in front of the Blues dugout again. We'll do it once more at 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Tierney flashes his titanium blue glove towards the catcher, Goff throws it right into the glove. Runners doing some suicides out there on the base paths, sprinting to the next station, then jogging back. Another 3-2 from Tierney. He comes home, and that plunks the leadoff man, Kemlinger. There's the 6th run of the ball game for the Oaks, starting to pull away off the free ones. The first run to score in this inning was Dominic Hellman, who walked. He scored on a walk to Reeve Boyd, and now another run has scored on the hit by pitch to Tommy Kemlinger. Dean Traynor makes the visit out to the mound to talk to his right-hander in his first inning of work, having trouble getting out of the jam that he created, as he has allowed 2 runs here in the 5th. It's now a 6-0 ball game. So Jack Sands starting to throw around a baseball as the Oaks have someone of their own going in the bullpen. Looks like it's Scott Radinsky from Santa Barbara Community College, a Westlake Village native. Home plate umpire heads out to talk to the mound to break it up, and everyone disperses along with Dean Traynor, who has a conversation with the umpire. So in this inning, it was the walk of Dominic Hellman that scored, the leadoff walk, the 5th straight base runner for Conejo. And then Jordan Kang, who collected his 3rd base hit of the day. He's a perfect 3 for 3. He came around to score off the hit by pitch from Kemlinger. So bases are still loaded for the 2-hitter Lucas Danielwitz, who's 0 for 3, and the recipient of ball 1 against Eddie Tierney, who's struggling in the 5th inning. Danielwitz is 0 of 3, 2 fly balls to center field, and a ground out to Gavin Constantine at short. 1-0 is a fastball in there for strike 1. Painting the outer black is Eddie Tierney on that fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Danielwitz. Kemlinger's at first, Max Audet at 3rd, and Reeve Boyd at 2nd base. 6-0 lead for the Oaks, as this one's popped in over the Blues dugout on the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tierney. He's a pitch away from getting out of this jam. Eddie kicks up on the dirt from the mound, offset from the rest of the infield. Much darker hue as opposed to the orange we're seeing. As checking his swing on the off-speed inside is Danielwitz. It gets away from Goff, but everyone stays at their stations. Deuce is wild to the right fielder, batting 2nd for Conejo. Danielwitz was a perfect 1 of 1 and batted in a run against the Riptide on July 7th. Here's the 2-2. Hits his hard on the ground left side, and that is foul. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Doesn't have a run batted in today. He's on the quest for that. That would be number 4 on the season for the former Firebird from Mesa Community College and the Saluski from Southern Illinois University. Tierney comes set, now kicks and deals on the 2-2. This one's hit on the right side and into the Blues bullpen. Oh, and Estabrook frames it well. There's no fencing protecting the bullpen catcher or the pitcher from balls in play. Just a one hop right into the catcher's mitt of Estabrook. Do it again at 2-2. Bases loaded, 6-0 lead for the Oaks. Here comes Tierney. This one's popped up, looks like it's playable in the infield. Lopez and Constantine converging on it. Lopez will make the grab, floating to his left, and the side is retired, but not before the Oaks collect 2 more runs on 2 hits. They strand the bases loaded, and no errors for the Blues. It's now 6-0 Conejo, heading into the 6th inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Sixth inning is brought to you by Plan Perfect Retirement. Be sure to contact Sherry Tollerman at planperfectretirement.com. Plan Perfect, corporate retirement plan specialists. Due up to face the new pitcher Scott Radinsky is Gavin Constantine, Braden Jeffries, and Max Lane, where the Blues now trail 6-0 over the Conejo Oaks. Eddie Tierney came in to replace Thomas Harper back in the 5th. He allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors for San Luis Obispo. He was able to strand the bases loaded, but really for Edney, he was having some difficulties finding the strike zone, as the first offering is a wrinkler to Gavin Constantine. That misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes to the infielder from St. Bonaventure. So now it's Radinsky replacing Nate Hernandez, who just went 1 inning, allowed 2 hits and 1 walk with no strikeouts and no runs scored, as Constantine is up 2-0 over the new pitcher. Radinsky from St. Peter's University is entering his junior season with the Peacocks. This one's hit sharply on the ground, left side. The shortstop Lee, he's got it, shuffles over to first and throws it in time to retire the youngster from McKinney, Texas. First out in the 6th inning, and now it's Braden Jeffries in the quest for his first hit of the ball game. Braden is having a stellar season for San Luis Obispo, despite not seeing his first college pitch yet, technically. He just graduated high school a few months ago. He's heading to Ann Arbor to play for the Wolverines at Michigan, and has just been a star for the Blues so far, as the third baseman Boyd now plays in the 5-5 hole. Here's the first pitch to him, almost hits him on the top of the foot. 1 ball and no strikes to Jeffries. He's the league leader in CCL average. At 18 years old, north of 400, the left-handed hitting second baseman, batting third today for the Blues, getting bumped down a notch with Gavin Constantine batting second. 1-0, he has to roll inside of that one, 2 balls and no strikes to Jeffries. Against Radinsky, who comes into this game with a 13.5 earned run average. He's making his 7th appearance for Conejo. As the 2-0 is rocketed into right center field, Kendlinger moving to his left, and the diving attempt is not good enough as it clanks off his glove, and Jeffries can cruise into second base. A 1-out double for the Blues. Finally, some life for San Luis Obispo to begin the 6th inning. More of the same for Braden Jeffries, who roped that one down into the right center gap. Great speed from Kendlinger over to retrieve that ball in center field. He has a 6.4 second 60-yard dash. So he had enough wheels to get there, but couldn't quite seal the deal as it clanked just off the tip of his glove. First extra base hit for San Luis Obispo, and a runner in scoring position for Max Lane. First pitch to Lane is a fastball strike. Radinsky has pitched in 6 innings heading into today's game with 6 strikeouts, 12 walks, and 6 hits. So Radinsky has some trouble finding the zone on his own as that curveball never touches the zone, but Lane swings at it low and outside, no balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck, it's Jariah Lewis, who's 1 of 2 this afternoon. Lane looking for his first hit, a strikeout swinging, and a grounder to short to end the 4th. Runner on second base off the double from Jeffries. 0-2 count to Max Lane as Radinsky comes home. There's a curveball hitting the outside corner for strike 3. Lane doesn't agree, and he heads back into the dugout representing the 2nd out of the 6th inning. So now with 2 gone, it's Jariah Lewis. Singled back in the 5th and was stranded over at third base and grounded to the first baseman Hellman back in the 2nd inning. Still a 6-0 lead for Conejo as Jeffries shows some signs of life for the Blues. First pitch to Lewis is an off-speed that misses high. 1 ball and no strikes. So last time Radinsky made an appearance for Conejo, it was on July 3rd, exactly a week ago, against the Philippine national team. Conejo hosted them in a 6-1 victory as Lewis ropes this one down the right field line and it falls for a base hit. Braden Jeffries getting the wave around from third. He'll come in to score. RBI single for Jariah Lewis with 2 outs in the 6th. Second hit of the day for Lewis, and it brings across the first run of the afternoon for San Luis Obispo. Nice to finally get on the board as Zach Tollerman steps up to the plate with 2 gone. He's 0 of 2 on the day, a line out to left field. It was scorched over to Carrillo, and a strikeout swinging to end the 2nd inning. Lewis takes off towards second base. The throw down to the bag is offline and not in time. It gets into the outfield, and now Lewis is thinking about third. He will get there, no problem. 180-foot steal for Jariah Lewis as another run just 90 feet away for Zach Tollerman, his future teammate at San Jose State next season, where he committed just a few weeks ago. So the first pitch to him was a strike received by Aude, and the throw down to Lewis was not in time. So now the 3rd time Jariah has been standing on third base this afternoon as the 0-1 misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tollerman. Parker Goff sits on deck. He's wearing the catcher shin guards with 2 outs and a runner on third. Blues trail by 5 to the Oaks. The 1-1 comes home. This one's dribbled on the ground left side off the wrist of Boyd at third base, and reaching first safely is Zach Tollerman. Jariah Lewis can come in to score, no problem. 6-2 Conejo. SLO finally has a crooked number on the board off the error from Boyd at third base. So now it's Parker Goff. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out to deep center field in the 5th and walked back in the 3rd where he was picked off there. Blues starting to cut into this lead with 2 runs here in the 6th inning. They have 2 hits so far as Goff takes that one for strike 1. 2 outs and a runner on first. It's Zach Tallerman who just reached on error, enough to bring across Jariah Lewis from third base. A tough hop for Boyd over at third. Was charging it, and it clanked off his wrist as Goff chases that fastball up at his head. No balls and 2 strikes. Jack Sand taking his time warming up in the Blues bullpen. Wondering what Dean Trainer will do after Tierney gave up 2 runs in his one and only outing so far this afternoon. As the 0-2 is a fastball barely missing high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Parker Goff. The backstop for the Blues might have just gotten a call there the way he's been playing catcher today. So Blanchette sits on deck. He's 1 of 2 today. Smoked a single on the pull side for the right-handed hitter and struck out looking in the 3rd. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Parker Goff, jolting his hands in front of his right pec. And it's a curveball. Not sure where that one missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Goff. Parker, in his navy blue low stirrup, stares down his black bomb bat with the red grip tape and awaits the 2-2 offering from Radinsky. Here it comes. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 3. Outer half of the zone, Goff went after it, and the side is retired. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base for San Luis Obispo. It's 6-2 Conejo heading to the home half of the 6th. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Pitcher for San Luis Obispo as Austin Carrillo leads things off for the Conejo Oaks. It's Jack Sand. He replaces Eddie Tierney after just going 1 inning, allowing 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Sand is the southpaw from the University of Washington as he impatiently awaits Carrillo to step into the left-handed batter's box. Left-on-left matchup to begin the 6th inning. And the first offering, Carrillo shows bunt and bunts it right in front of the press box table or the broadcast table for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to Carrillo, who is 1 of 2 this afternoon against the Blues. Sand for San Luis Obispo is making his 9th appearance for the Blues as the 0-1 comes home, and he hits it off his hands, playable in the infield. Sebastian Lopez calls everyone off, and he makes the 2-handed grab for the first out of the inning. Soft contact from Jack Sand, that's what he does best, and there's one gone here in the 6th. So Sand making his 9th appearance. He's 0-2 on the year. In 9 1/3 innings pitched, he's allowed 10 hits, 14 runs, 12 of them earned, 18 walks to his 10 strikeouts. And there it is, folks. That's been the struggle for Jack Sand this summer, is trying to land his effective pitches in the zone, because we see the fastball there just taken for strike one against Dominic Hellman. He can locate the fastball well, like he can pin it on the corners, but when one walk happens, then a hit by pitch, the dominoes just kind of all fall down. As checking his swing on that slider low is Hellman for strike two. But really the showcase, or the marquee pitch, I should say, for Sand is that slider. It just bites so hard coming out of the left-hander, and it's what works most of the time when he's on, which hasn't been for a few games with San Luis Obispo. The 0-2 comes home, and this one's hit off into the bat in the center field. Royal charges it, but it falls in front of him for a base hit. Second knock of the day for Dominic Hellman, and it comes with one out in the 6th inning. Second hit of the day for Hellman, and now it's Nick Leahy, who's 1 for 3 this afternoon. An RBI ground out, a double in the 2nd, and a strikeout swinging against Eddie Tierney in the 5th. Sand, last appearance he made was against the Arroyo Seco Saints at home in San Luis Obispo, where he earned a loss there in their 4-2 L, as this one's rocketed over to second base, and Jeffries, who can't glove it as it goes into the outfield. Hellman heads into third. Holding up at first base is Nick Leahy, a base hit for the UC Davis Aggie. Back-to-back knocks for Conejo, and now a runner in scoring position. So while the streak of having a leadoff base runner has ended for the Oaks, having a runner in scoring position in every inning has not. As Landon West digs in looking for his first hit of the day, he's one of the 2 hitters in this afternoon's lineup for Conejo to not record a base hit. Runners at the corners with one gone, and the first baseman West, who grounded out to first, walked, and struck out swinging in the 5th. Short lead over at first for Leahy as Sand comes home with the fastball and blows it right by his barrel for strike one. So Sand in that last game on July 6th against the Arroyo Seco Saints pitched 2 1/3 innings, allowed 3 runs on 2 hits, 4 walks to his 2 strikeouts. Here's the 0-1 from Sand. Missing inside to the right-handed batter, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jack has yet to record a game in CCL play, at least, where he has more strikeouts than walks, or at least more than even. First league appearance was against the Stompers. It was 3-3, and after that the Foresters 1-1. 1-1 pitch here is a slider that just misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Sand. Landon West with another cushion 90 feet away. His name is Dominic Hellman over at third base with Nick Leahy at first. Back-to-back hits. Fastball missing outside to him. 3 balls and 1 strike. A hitter's count to the first baseman catcher playing first base today. The Owl from Rice University awaiting the 3-1 offering from Jack Sand. Here it comes, and it's a fastball down the middle of the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes, a full count. Some family ties at Rice as well, as West plays with his older brother Graydon with the Owls. Here's the payoff pitch from Sand as he picks over to first, and now in a rundown is Nick Leahy. Bobbling the ball at short is Constantine. The run comes in to score. They're keeping Leahy in the rundown. Jeffries charging him, and he'll tag for the second out of the inning. The run from third and Hellman comes in to score, and there's 2 gone here in the 6th. Nick Leahy is picked off at first base off the nice move from Jack Sand, but it does cost the Blues a run. It's now 7-2 Conejo. Bases are cleared, and now the payoff pitch is going to be coming home to Landon West. 3-2 misses outside, and there's a 2-out walk to the first baseman. First walk of the day for Jack Sand, and now it's Jordan Kang. 3 base runners in a row awarded to Conejo. As another pitcher for the Oaks gets loose in the bullpen. It's Jordan Kang digging into the right-handed batter's box. A perfect 3 for 3 on the day. A double, 2 singles, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. As the first offering is a fastball that hits the outer black. No balls and 1 strike. 2 gone here in the 6th. A runner at first base and Landon West. And it's the Harvard Crimson playing second base and batting 7th. Here's the 0-1. It's a slider missing in the dirt. Gets away from Parker Goff. Buys West enough time to swipe second base standing. 11 hit for the Oaks this afternoon compared to the Blues 5. They lead San Luis Obispo by 5 runs. Conejo has scored in all but 2 innings, the first and the 4th. Sand comes set on the 1-1 offering to Jordan Kang. Peaks at second base, now delivers. That's a fastball that misses high, 2 balls and 1 strike. "13 walks entering today's game for Jordan Kang compared to his 11 strikeouts. He's driven in 14 runs before this afternoon as the 2-1 misses high. Hitters count to Jordan Kang, 3 balls and 1 strike. Game has come to a screeching halt just over halfway through at Sparky Anderson Field. 7-2 lead for the Oaks in CCL play. 3-1. There's a fastball missing high and outside. A walk to Jordan Kang, the 4th time he's reached base safely today. 2-out walk. There's runners on first and second for Conejo, and it's Max Audet for his 4th time in the 6th inning. Quick conversation with Sebastian Lopez at third base as he retreats over to the bag. Back-to-back walks for Jack Sand. It's Audet, who singled in the 5th inning, was stranded at third there, struck out swinging, and lined out to Zach Tellerman today. First pitch is hit off the hands into shallow center, and it falls for a base hit. Getting the wave around is Landon West. He'll chug into home, no problem. 8-2 lead for the Oaks. RBI single for Max Audet. That's his 2nd base hit of the day, his first run batted in of the day, and his first RBI of the season. Five straight base runners awarded to Conejo, as now runners are at the corners for the Oaks, and the 9-hitter Reeve Boyd stepping up. He's got 1 hit of his own today as that fastball goes up and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. 8-2 lead now for the Oaks. A 2-run inning. They just got back the 2 runs the Blues put up in the top half of the 6th back. 1-0. That's a fastball that misses low. 2 balls and no strikes from Jack Sand. There is a pitcher sitting on the silver bleacher in the Blues bullpen. No one else has joined him. Can't tell who that is, but he's catching some serious sun rays right now. 2-0 is a fastball taken for a strike, not to be confused with the CCL affiliate team from San Diego. Reeve Boyd and the 2-1 count against Jack Sand. Runners at first and third, 8-2 lead for the Oaks. It's a fastball that misses up and outside. Coming out of the squat is Parker Goff to stop that one. 3 balls and 1 strike to Boyd. Third baseman batting 9th, utility player from Seattle, Washington, facing his future teammate with the Huskies. 3-1. Fastball clipping the lower outside corner for strike 2. Full count now. Right-hander still getting loose for Conejo as the left-hander comes set against the right-handed hitting Boyd. Payoff pitch. Fastball is towered into center field. E.J. Royal moving to his left, and Jariah Lewis will call him off for the third out of the inning. Jack Sand was walking back to the dugout before anyone caught that ball. The damage has been done. The Oaks get 2 runs back that the Blues put up in the 6th off 3 hits. They strand 2 runners, no errors, and it is now 8-2 heading into the 7th. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. It's a new pitcher for the Conejo Oaks, where they now have an 8-2 lead over San Luis Obispo. Jack Sand came in to relieve Eddie Tierney and surrendered 2 runs off 3 hits this past half inning for the Oaks. So now they lead by 6 against San Luis Obispo. Leading things off for the Blues, it's Gio Blanchette, then it's Sebastian Lopez, and the top of the order in E.J. Royal, as a new pitcher has come in to replace Scott Radinsky. Very short outing for him. Just seems that the Oaks just are emptying the bullpen after Wexler went 4 innings of work. So Radinsky just goes 1 as Blanchette's first pitch swing. He grounds it off to the shortstop. Lee throws over to first, is in time. 1 pitch, 1 out here to lead off the 7th inning. So Blanchette retired, and now it's Ty Walton, the right-handed pitcher, filling in for Radinsky. Just 2 hits in 1 innings pitched, allowed 2 runs for the Blues. That's the only runs they have all day. No walks and 2 strikeouts as Sebastian Lopez steps up for his 3rd time today. He's 1 of 1, a single back in the 3rd, his first base hit of the summer, and a walk back in the 5th. It was stranded on first base both of those times as the first pitch curveball is taken for strike 1 to Lopez. And for Ty Walton, he's making his 9th appearance of the summer, as that one's fouled up and out of the stadium, straight back behind home plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Lopez. The uncommitted right-hander from La Cañada, California, entering his senior season. Has a .450 earned run average as Lopez chases that fastball up at his eyes for strike 3. 2 quick outs here for the new relief pitcher. So with that .450 earned run average, he's pitched in 8 innings with 12 strikeouts, 7 walks, and 4 hits. Last time he made an appearance, it was against the Foresters on July 5th in their 12-4 loss against Santa Barbara. As the first pitch there to the leadoff man, E.J. Royal, misses for ball 1. And in that game against Santa Barbara, he just pitched in 1 inning there, allowed 1 run. It was earned off a hit and a strikeout. He faced 6 batters. As the second pitch to E.J. misses upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0 to Royal. It's hit up and out of the stadium on the right side, 2 balls and 1 strike to E.J., who's looking for his first hit of the day. First hit of this road trip, as he was 0 for 4 yesterday against the Riptide as well. Last time he got a hit, it was against the Saints on July 7th. As that one misses to Royal again, 3 balls and 1 strike. EJ this season batting south of 400, 376. Hasn't been living in that area all too often this summer with the Blues, but that curveball wrinkles in there for strike 2. And Royals now at 376 with his 38 hits and 101 at-bats. 3-2. This one's hit softly on the ground, left side, the shortstop Lee, he scoops it up and throws on the move to the left to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down. Ty Walton's first inning of work for the Oaks, and we'll head into the home half of the 7th at Sparky Anderson Field. It's time to stretch. 8-2 Oaks. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Leadoff man for the Conejo Oaks as they lead the Blues by 6 runs in the bottom half of the 7th. 8-2 Conejo, with Jack Sand heading out there for his 2nd inning of work after allowing 2 runs on 3 hits this past inning, leaving 2 runners left on base. But for Sand, it's more the same struggles for him trying to find that strike zone. He allowed 2 walks in the past inning, has yet to record a strikeout. Coming in to replace Eddie Tierney, there is a pitcher getting loose in the Blues bullpen, though, getting warm with the Jaeger bands against the fence as that fastball misses outside to the leadoff man and Kendlinger. 2 balls and no strikes to him. So he's 1 for 2 on the day, Kendlinger is. A single back in the first, a grounder to Lopez in the 4th, a walk and a hit by pitch. Has came around to score 1 time as Sand misses for the 3rd straight pitch. 3 balls and no strikes to the center fielder. On deck, it's Lucas Danielewicz. He's hitless this afternoon. 12 hits for the Oaks today. Just 5 for San Luis Obispo, as the 3-0 is in there for a strike. Looks like it's Ericus Pajunas. Grew up not too far from Cal Lutheran, where this game is being played at Sparky Anderson Field. Committed to Michigan next season, playing some catch with Owen Estabrook. As the 3-1 comes home, and it's a fastball taken for a strike. Kendlinger flung his bat into the on-deck circle. He'll have to retrieve it for the payoff pitch against Sand. Kendlinger has struck out 13 times this season, has walked 15. Here's the payoff pitch from Sand as he spreads open his red glove on his right hand. It's a fastball fouled straight off the mitt of Parker Goff. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Handsome gentleman Brendan Comerford retrieves the ball, flings it back into the other dugout, and we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sand with a deep sigh, looking for his first out of the inning. And And he doesn't get it here on the fastball that misses high and outside to Kendlinger. A leadoff base runner for the Oaks. Would you believe it? Been only one inning where they haven't had that happen to them. Last time Kendlinger led off with a walk, it was back in the third, and he came around to score off the bat from Dominic Hellman. So one walk here and an 8-2 lead for the Oaks. As this one hits Lucas Danielewicz, back-to-back free ones from Jack Sand. And the streak stays alive, a runner in scoring position in 7 innings this game. Now it's Austin Carrillo. He's 1 for 3 on the day, a single in the third, stole a bag, came around to score there. Grounded out to Jeffries at second, and then popped out to Lopez at third for the first out of the 6th inning. That's the first out that Jack Sand has recorded as well, as the first offering misses inside to him, 1 ball, no strikes. Carrillo was also hit by a pitch in the first and was caught stealing from the dart by Parker Goff. 2 runners on. It's Kendlinger at second base and Danielewicz over at first. He was just hit by a pitch from Jack Sand. Here's the 1-0 from Sand, and it's a fastball sent over the dugout of Conejo and out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Choking up on his bat in the left-handed batter's box, awaiting the 1-1 offering from the southpaw Sand. Here it comes, and that's a slider that hits him directly in the back. 2 hit by pitches in a row for Jack Sand, and that fills up the bases. First 3 batters that Sand faces in the 7th, walk, hit by pitch, hit by pitch. Really struggling this summer trying to hit the strike zone, Jack Sand is. As now Dominic Hellman, the DH with 2 hits today, steps up. He's scored 3 runs for the Oaks as well. Drove in one of them with his single back in the third as he fouls that one off the mask of Parker Goff for strike 1. Bajunas starting to pick up the intensity out in the bullpen as Sand has hit 2 batters and walked one of them in the 7th. Kendlinger at third, Danielewicz at second with Carrillo at first. Closed stance from the stretch, and the 0-1 comes home. It's flared into shallow right. Jariah Lewis coming in on it. He fights the sun. Tagging from third is Kendlinger. The throw comes home, and it's not in time. A sacrifice fly for Dominic Hellman. Now a 9-2 lead for the Oaks. Second RBI of the day for Hellman. And now it's Nick Leahy, the shortstop, who's got 2 hits on the day. Sand finally records his first out, but it comes at the cost of a run. And now it's Nick Leahy with runners on first and second and a 9-2 lead for the Oaks. They've scored in all but 2 innings this afternoon, and we're in the 7th. Sand peaks at second base, now delivers on the fastball that hits the outside corner, no balls and 1 strike. Leahy with his 2 hits, it was a double in the second and a single in the 6th, came around to score in the second, also had an RBI ground out in the third and struck out swinging in the 5th. So a 2-for-4 day for the shortstop from UC Davis. 0-1 misses low, Parker Goff smothers it, 1 ball and 1 strike, runners stay at their stations. So the Oaks have put up 9 runs today. Very on brand for them as they're tied for second in runs in CCL play. Before today's game, they had 149 runs scored. That's tied for second with Arroyo Seco. 1-1 is dribbled down the third base line off the hands of Leahy, but foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another pitcher getting loose in the Oaks bullpen, Jaden Valdez from Ventura College, another Oxnard native from the pen, a right-hander. Here's the 1-2 from Sand. It's a slider, try to hit the outside corner with it, but he misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One gone here for Nick Leahy. Runners at first and second. His team leads by 7 against San Luis Obispo. The Newberry Park native entering his senior season of D1 ball. Swings and misses at the elevated fastball. Going down swinging is Nick Leahy, and the first strikeout of the day for Jack Sand. And that had to feel good, and when you get a hitter to swing at a pitch that's not in the zone, it's that much more of a success. Sand was able to climb the ladder and get Leahy to chase for his second strikeout of the day and the second out of this inning. So now it's Landon West, who doesn't have a hit today. He's 0 for 2, a grounder to third, and it looks like we'll actually have a pinch hitter coming in for West. As Sand looks at second base, now delivers, and the first offering is outside for strike 1. Tanner Beltowski, the hybrid shortstop pitcher, coming in to pinch hit for Landon West. As the 0-1 comes home, and it's towered in the infield. Sand charges it. He gets called off by Goff, who squeezes it for the third out of the inning. So the Oaks strand 2 runners on, but they get a run on no hits and no errors. It's now 9-2 Conejo heading into the 8th inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher in for Conejo as the Blues trail 9-2 against the Conejo Oaks. It's Jaden Valdez. Ty Walton's day is done. Just 1 inning of work. No hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout against this Blues offense as Gavin Constantine faces the new right-hander and looks at the first pitch fastball up at his eyes for ball 1. So Valdez is a rising sophomore from Camarillo, California. A pitcher from Ventura College, as the second offering to Constantine misses again, 2 balls and no strikes. Has a 1.59 earned run average this summer, making his 6th appearance for the Oaks in 5 2/3 innings pitched. He has 6 strikeouts, just 1 walk, and 6 hits. As here's 3 straight balls to Gavin Constantine, the leadoff man in the 8th inning, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground ball to the shortstop. Braden Jeffries awaits on deck as Constantine awaits the 3-0. There's the fastball, misses high. A 4-pitch walk to the leadoff man, Constantine. First time that Gavin has reached base safely today. And now it's Braden Jeffries who scorched a double in the right center gap over the diving attempt from Kendlinger. He eventually came around to score there from the Jariah Lewis RBI single. So now Jeffries working with a runner on first base. 1 for 3 this afternoon. His fly ball to center field and his pop out to left accompanied his double, as the throw back to first is not in time. Last time Jaden Valdez for Conejo made an appearance, it was against the Filipino national team, just like Ty Walton, as the first pitch offering misses low to Jeffries, 1 ball, no strikes. Back on July 3rd when they won 6-1, just an inning and a third of work. Allowed 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and 6 batters faced. 1-0, and Jeffries spoils that one over the Oaks bullpen, or the Oaks dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike to him. Waiting on deck, it's Max Lane, the DH, who's hitless this afternoon. Creeping off first is Gavin Constantine with a normal lead. He goes back and he is picked off. Second pickoff of the day for the Blues, and the base running miscues continue to haunt them. That's the first out of the inning. Constantine retired as he was inching his way towards second base on his primary lead. Valdez caught him at an awkward time, able to pick him off for the first out of the inning. 1-1 is hit into deep right center field. Converging is Kendlinger and Danielwitz, and a miscommunication there as Kendlinger comes up with it. Danielwitz collided with the center fielder. They shake hands and everyone's okay, but that's the second out of the inning. 2 gone now for Max Lane, who has struck out twice today and grounded out to the shortstop Leahy. Another arm getting loose for Conejo. And I think that's just the strategy here. They're just going to keep rolling out bullpen arms until this game is over. And what is essentially a blowout here at Cal Lutheran University at Sparky Anderson Field. 9-2 lead for Conejo. That one misses to Max Lane for ball 1. And check that on a 2-0 count to Max Lane, standing in the back of the right-handed batter's box. There's a wrinkler just missing downstairs. 3 balls and no strikes to Lane. Jariah Lewis stands on deck. He's 1 for 3 today, seeing it pretty well. An RBI single in the 6th. He came around to score there. 3-0. Fastball high, and there's a walk to Max Lane. Lane reaches on the 4-pitch walk with 2 outs in the 8th inning, and now it's Jariah Lewis, one of the 2 left-handed batters in today's lineup for Dean Traynor, batting 5th and playing right field for the Blues. Jog your memory back to last season when San Luis Obispo came to Conejo, came to Sparky Anderson Field to play the Oaks. Jariah Lewis launched his 2nd home run of the season over the fence in right field, over the netting in right field. He shows bunt and pulls it back at the breaking ball that breaks below the zone. 1 ball, no strikes. Sat at this very broadcast table and watched that thing fly into the tennis courts at Cal Lutheran. An absolute nuke, and Lewis knew it right away. One of the best bat drops I've ever seen. Shows bunt again on the 1-0, and it misses high and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Jariah Lewis with a runner on first base and Max Lane. Just reached base on the 2-out walk just before Lewis dug in. He takes off towards second base, but Lewis skies this one into center field. The center fielder, Kendlinger, can't find it. He picks it up last second and squeezes it for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, a runner left on base. 9-2 Conejo heading into the home after the 8th. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. new pitcher in for San Luis Obispo. It's Ericus Pajunas coming in to replace Jack Sand in a 9-2 ball game that favors the Conejo Oaks here at George Sparky Anderson Field in Thousand Oaks, California. Entering the home half of the 8th inning, due up for the Oaks, it's Jordan Kang, Max Audet, and Reeve Boyd. Kang, who's seeing it the best out of any hitter today in this Oaks lineup. A double, a single, another single, and a walk back in the 6th. He's reached base safely in all 4 of his plate appearances. He's also driven in 2 of the 9 runs for the Oaks today, as the first pitch from Pajunas gets way over the head of Parker Goff, taken for ball 1. So Pajunas entering this game, an 0-3 record, making his 7th appearance, 13 innings pitched, 9 runs, all of them earned, or 8 of them earned, 11 walks to his 12 strikeouts. 1-0 misses high again. Coming out of the squat is Parker Goff, 2 balls and no strikes. And like Jack Sand has been struggling with the strike zone this season, clearly, with his 11 walks and 12 strikeouts. He has a 5.5 earned run average, a 1.5 whip for Pajunas, allowing 7.6 walks per 9. 3 straight balls here to Jordan Kang, the second baseman, batting 7th. From the windup, here's Ericus on the 3-0. This one's hit on the ground up the middle, ranging to his right as Jeffries. The throw across his body is in time as Tallerman scoops it from the dirt for the first out of the inning, the first time Kang has been retired today. Rangy play for Braden Jeffries over at second base, able to straddle that ground ball that was just to the right of second base. And there's a first out of the 8th inning on the 3-0 swing from Jordan Kang. So now it's Max Audet. He's 2 for 4 this afternoon. 2 singles. He was stranded on base both times. A strikeout swinging and a liner to Zach Tallerman. As the first offering for Pajunas is a 90-mile-an-hour fastball missing up and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. So last time Pajunas rolled out there from Dean Trainer's bullpen, it was against the Saints, just like Jack Sand on July 7th. 1 inning pitch, allowed 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 6 batters faced. As there's ball 2 to the hitter Max Audet. I've talked about the struggles that Audet has had in college ball ever since leaving LA Valley College, where he was an all-conference honorable mention. As the 2-0 is skied up and out of the stadium down the left side, 2 balls and 1 strike against Pajunas, 89 miles per hour on that fastball. So for Audet, 323 average with the Monarchs at LA Valley College. Earned him a spot with the Johnnies at St. John's and is trying to break stride there. He just finished up his sophomore season at the Division I level. 2-1 is hit hard on the ground, right side Jeffries over his glove, and it gets into the outfield. A base hit for the catcher, Max Audet. That's his 3rd of this afternoon. He headed into this game with a sub-100 batting average. He has more hits today than he does the rest of the season. So a 1-out knock for Audet and a base runner for the Oaks. Let's see if they can get him in scoring position and keep that streak alive. It's now Reeve Boyd, who's 1 of 3 this afternoon. He was stranded at second base off of his single and his walk in the 5th. Also flew out to Jariah Lewis to end things in the 6th inning. And in his first at bat, he struck out swinging to end the 2nd. First pitch to him is a fastball on the outer black for strike 1. Pajunas trying to force a ground ball here, flip a double play, and get the offense to work in the top of the 9th inning, where the Blues trailed by 7 runs to the Conejo Oaks. The Oaks are a game and a half outside of first place in the CCL South behind the Santa Barbara Foresters, as that off-speed is taken for strike 2. And if the season were to end today, they would host the CCL South playoffs, that side of the bracket at least, because Santa Barbara does not participate in the CCL postseason. So it would automatically go to the Oaks, who are in second place, as that curveball misses just a little too high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So right now, the way the CCL plays out, the Foresters are on first with their 4-game winning streak. It's the Oaks, a game and a half behind. Riptide just gained another game on Conejo last night with their win against the Blues. They're 2 games behind Santa Barbara. And Arroyo Seco 3.5 outside of first. So those are the playoff teams for now in the CCL South. 1-2 comes home, and it's a fastball. He tried to nibble away at the low and outside corner. He misses, not by much though. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ericus Pajunas to the 9-hole hitter Reeve Boyd. And so for the Blues, they have sole possession of 3rd place in the CCL North, 3.5 games behind the Walnut Creek Crawdads, who have lost 2 games in a row. Haven't seen that too often this summer. Stompers are ahead of them at 2.5 outside of first, as that fastball misses outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Pajunas. SLO starting to pull away from Menlo Park, who has been struggling in the second half of the season. They're 5 games outside of first place behind the Walnut Creek Crawdads. Short lead over at first base for Max Audet as the payoff pitch comes home, and it's a curveball taken for strike 3. First K of the day for Ericus Pajunas, and the second out of the 8th inning. Sequenced that one nicely, tunneled it well. He missed it upstairs a few times in that at bat. Finally comes through there and plops it right into the middle of the strike zone. So now it's what should be the leadoff man again. And it looks like it will actually be a pinch hitter. Tommy Kendlinger's day is done. So he just collects 1 hit in his 3 at-bats and 2 walks to go with it. And it looks like it's Kai Caranto, a rising sophomore, second baseman from Santa Clarita, and a Kingsman from Cal Lutheran University. Very familiar with this field. He now joins Jordan King in this lineup, as they were high school teammates at Harvard Westlake. 1-0 misses outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Caranto. 2 outs with a runner on first. Ericus Pajunas trying to retire the pinch hitter for Tommy Kendlinger. Another short lead for Audet at first base as the 2-0 comes home, and it skips in the dirt. A backhanded stop from Parker Goff. 3 straight balls to Caranto. Looks like it's another pinch hitter on deck for the Oaks, Marcus Galvin. Pajunas with the long hold comes home, and the 3-0 is a fastball that hits the outside corner. 3 balls and 1 strike to the pinch hitter and Caranto. 3-1 is towered in the infield. Sebastian Lopez comes in on it. He immediately calls off the catcher Goff and makes the running grab in foul territory for the 3rd out of the inning. For the first time this game, runners not in scoring position for Conejo. We'll head into the 9th inning. The Blues' last chance to dig into this deficit. 9-2 Oaks. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Last chance for the Blues as they trail 9-2 against the Conejo Oaks at Sparky Anderson Field. And a new pitcher, Eldridge Armstrong IV, the right-hander from Texas A&M, hit the transfer portal in 2023 after spending his first 2 seasons as an Aztec at San Diego State University. He is now an Aggie over at College Station in Texas A&M. This season for the Conejo Oaks, he has an .830 earned run average. He has 1 start. He's making his 3rd appearance for the Oaks today. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 2 hits. He made his last appearance against the Foresters on July 6th as Tollerman almost gets hit by the fastball up and inside, 92 miles an hour for ball 1. So he made his last appearance with the Foresters on July 6th in their 7-0 loss. He got the loss there, 2 1/3 innings pitched. 4 runs, all of them earned, as Tollerman chops this one into the Oaks dugout. Nice snag by the head coach for Conejo. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tollerman. So 4 earned runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts in 12 batters faced for Armstrong IV. Here's the 1-1 to Tollerman, and it's an off speed, just missing beneath the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this past season at Texas A&M recorded a 7.71 earned run average and 4 2/3 innings pitched. 2-1, check swung and dribbled down the first base line. It will end up foul. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good strikeout to walk ratio, though, for Armstrong IV at College Station. 7 walks to his 2 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings pitched. Seemed that the SEC hitters could just get on top of the fastball that he'd offer up there at 92. As here's one there, Tollerman swings and skies this one to the shortstop Leahy, who corrals it for the first out of the inning. 1 gone now for Parker Goff, who's hitless this afternoon for the Blues. A walk in the 3rd. He got picked off at first base. One of the 2 pickoffs today, actually. A fly out to center field and a strikeout swinging to end the 6th inning. Armstrong dangles his right arm over his left kneecap, and he comes set with the left knee extended and the right knee bent. First pitch is sent the opposite way down the right field line. Danielwitz ranging, dives and can't make the grab. Rounding first and heading towards second is Parker Goff. He's thinking about 3. He's chugging in as Regalado puts his 2 hands up. A 1-out triple for Parker Goff. And for Goff, that's his first triple of the season, his 5th extra base hit, and it comes in the top of the 9th inning against the new pitcher, Eldridge Armstrong. Second time the Blues have had a runner at 3rd base today, and his name is Parker Goff. He just launched that triple down the right field line, went where that pitch was delivered, and it was a fastball up and away in the zone, and he threw his barrel out there. His bomb bat did all the work for him, kicked around in the right field corner after the diving attempt from Danielwitz. So 1 ball, no strikes to Gio Blanchette, who's 1 of 3 this afternoon, as the 1-0 slider is swung on and missed. Excellent movement there from Armstrong to get that swing and miss from Blanchette. Strikeout looking back in the 3rd. A hard-hit single in the 5th. He was stranded at second base there, and a ground out to Leahy for the first out of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-1. This one's hit off the hands into left field. Tagging is Goff. Converging on it is Carrillo and the center fielder. The throw home comes in, and it's in time. The game ends on the throw from Carrillo in left field, gunning out Parker Goff at the plate. That'll be it for the Blues, and this game ends 9-2 at Sparky Anderson Field. Parker Goff limping back into the dugout after the result of this game. Hello, everyone. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. My name is Nate Mills, today's broadcaster on the SLO Blue Streaming Network. San Luis Obispo just dropped this one 9-2 against the Conejo Oaks, and the offense just could not come around. First of all, they couldn't figure out the starting pitcher in Luke Wexler. He went 4 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. If anything, it appeared that the Blues were having difficulties picking up the pitches that were thrown to them. More often than not, it was the slider that the Blues were going after. and they just couldn't connect on pitches that were in the zone, as opposed to last night with the OC Riptide. They were chasing pitches up at their eyes, and that certainly happened today, but there were fastballs and changeups that were very hittable to these hitters from San Luis Obispo, and they couldn't capitalize on them. And that was one of the biggest mistakes for the Blues today. And another one on top of that, the base running continues to be an issue for San Luis Obispo. 2 pickoffs in one game. That cannot happen over at first base. That's a very important run. Those add up after a while, and we certainly saw that with the 9-2 victory for Conejo. And they didn't really have one big blow-up inning. I mean, they had 3 runs in the third. That's as much as they got. They just chipped away throughout the entire game. There was only 3 innings where they didn't put up at least 1 run, and that's going to win you ball games every time. The team tied for second in the most runs scored in the CCL just took it to San Luis Obispo. They have now dropped 2 games in a row. Heading into the next few days for San Luis Obispo, they have the day off tomorrow on the 11th, and they return to Sinsheimer on the 12th to play the Ventura County Pirates. After that's the Menlo Park Legends for a 2-game set there, and then it's the All-Star break. That Menlo Park Legends 2-game series is very important as the Blues are trying to break away from them in the CCL South standings. We'll see how they shake up after today, but the Blues are 3.5 games out of first, and the Legends are 5. So they're trying to create that distance as much as possible as the Blues are trying to hang out to that final playoff spot. But to do that, they're going to have to make better contact and have better base running, because those are 2 things for the Blues that they just couldn't do today. There are very hittable pitches in the zone and correctable mistakes over on the base paths. So it's a 3-game set at Sinsheimer before the All-Star break, and then coming out of that, it's at Santa Barbara on the 19th. They'll return to San Luis Obispo the day after that to play the Foresters for a 6 p.m. start on the 20th. But for now, a day off tomorrow. We'll be back at Sinsheimer on the 12th to play the Ventura County Pirates, another crucial game, an affiliate team for the CCL. The Blues have to win those games if they want to keep good shape in the standings for the California Collegiate League. This has been Blues Baseball on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. My name is Nate Mills. Thanks for watching.